All right, so you guys know over the past couple weeks we've been dealing with functions, graphing. Okay, we're going to talk about or really look at the different types of slope and really what is slope. Okay, y'all might have had a little bit of this before, so it may be just a little bit of review. But the first thing that we're going to look at, guys, is the constant rate, okay, of change between points on a line. That's what slope is. It's the constant rate of change between points on a line. So you've got 2 points, and it's just really basically how far apart they are, or really the vertical change over the horizontal change, the distance between those two. Okay, so you also have a ratio of the rise to the run of the line. Okay, or really you guys can also put it's your vertical change. So I'm going to slide that over just a little bit. It's your vertical change. Okay. Over your horizontal change. Okay. So you guys know that vertical is really up and down, not necessarily just up. But it can also be down. And then your horizontal change, guys, is also your left to right. Okay? Now, your slope, guys, if we're looking at it in an equation like we're going to, it is the variable that it's known as m. Okay? So that's what your slope will be known as inside the equation. Okay? All right, now we're going to look at some types of slope, the different types of slope. Okay, all right, so the first slope that we're going to look at is a positive slope. Okay, so when you're reading slope, guys, the easiest way for me, I feel like, is just like you read in a book. So that would be starting at the leftmost point, and if the line's going up, it's going to be positive. Okay, so your most left point, guys, would be here. Okay, if you're looking at the next type of slope, this one would be negative. Okay, and again, your most left point is right here. Okay, and you can see that it's traveling down. So obviously, just like you would like on a vertical number line, if it's going up, it's positive. If your line is going down, it is negative. Okay, and then here, the next one, guys, you have zero slope, zero or no slope. Okay, so this one, guys, is just a straight horizontal line, and it's not going up, it's not going down, it's almost just flat. There's no slope at all. Okay, and then the last one is undefined. Okay, because it's a straight vertical line on your axis. You don't know if it's going up or if it's going down in one direction or the other. That's why it's undefined. Okay? All right. Now, finding the slope of a graph. That's the next thing that we're going to look at. How to determine the slope or find the slope. Okay? Like we talked about just a second ago in our notes, guys, you're comparing the ratio of the rise to the run, or it's your vertical change over your horizontal change, what we put just right back over there. So remember, guys, vertical is not just up, it's up and down. And then our run is our horizontal change, which is left and right both. Okay? So I'm going to increase my thickness just a little bit on my drawing tool. Now, let's look at number one real quick. We have a point here, okay, and we have a point there. So if we're looking for the slope, guys, it's just our M, remember that's the variable that represents slope. It's just our rise over the run or vertical change over horizontal change. So let's look at the vertical change. We're going to start at the leftmost point and count vertically how many units that it goes up. So if you guys are looking, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that would be 7. And then the horizontal change would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the slope would be 7 over 4. Okay? Now, when you're looking at these guys, don't forget, we also have those types of slope. Okay? So positive, negative. Remember, start at the most left, and it's traveling up, so that would be a positive slope. Okay? All right, let's look at number 2. Number 2, we've got a point here and a point right there. All right, so let's look at our vertical change over the horizontal change. So this would be our vertical change would be 1, 2, 3. Remember, we're just getting in line with that next point, so 3. And our horizontal change would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 3 over 8 would be my slope. Is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9. So 3 over 9, really. Okay? Now, looking at this, guys, we still have to determine if it's positive, negative, 0, or undefined. So here, starting at the leftmost point, guys, what direction is it traveling? It's traveling down, so that makes it a negative slope. So make sure that you guys put that negative sign right there in front of the slope. That tells us that the whole thing is negative. Okay? All right. Now looking at number 3, we got a point. We have a point here and a point there. Is there any vertical change? There's no vertical change. The horizontal change is 1, but it's staying flat on that axis. So it's not really going up and it's not really going down. So you guys should realize that if it's that straight line across, this one is M equals what? 0. Okay? Or you could also say that this was no slope. Okay? All right, we're going to look at one more real quick right here. So we have our point here and our point there. We do have a vertical change, but there's no horizontal change. So if you guys are looking at that and we have a straight vertical line right there, we should know that this one is M equals undefined slope. Okay? All right, now, like I just said, guys, I'm going to let y'all finish 5 through 21 on your own in just a second. But the next thing that we're going to look at is slope formula. So how to find slope using a formula if you are given some multiple points on a line. Okay? So right here, guys, important to know that we're looking at slope formula. Okay? And that formula is, it is used to find the slope between 2 points. So if you have 2 points, guys, on a line, you have an x1 and an x2, and a y1 and a y2. Okay, because you got to have 2 coordinates to have a point. So here you have 4 coordinates because you have 2 points. Okay, so the formula to find the slope, guys, would be you have M equals, and that is your y2. I'm going to capitalize that y, your y2, and that is going to be minus your y1, and that's going to be over, that really right here, guys, like we just said, is going to be your fraction bar, x2 minus x1. So you're finding the difference between your y values and your x values. Okay, now let's look at number 1, guys, and we're just going to find the slope using the slope formula. Okay, now looking here, guys, underneath my coordinates, guys, the first one is my x1. The next one is my y1. So basically all that means is each of those right there are just your first x coordinate and your first y coordinate. Okay? Now, if you space it on out just a little bit, your next ordered pair or your coordinates, that is going to be your x2 and your y2. Okay? So that 2, guys, just represents that's your second point on the graph. All right, now you're just going to substitute what those values are into the slope formula. So that would be m equals, and the formula, it's y2 minus y1. So that would be our y2, guys. If you're looking, my y2 would be 3, and that would be minus y1, which is 1. Okay, our fraction bar there. And then our x2, which is 4, minus our x1, which is 1, okay? And then you simply just solve those, okay? So m is going to equal 3 minus 1, you guys know, is 2. And then you have your 4 minus 1, which you guys know as 3. And so my slope for this one is 2, 3, which means it would be rise 2 and run 3. Okay, y'all good there? All right, let's look at number 3 real quick. Okay, so I'm not going to type in the x1, y1, x2, y2, guys. Just know that this is your first one and that is your second one. Okay, so we have m equals y2, which is -5, and that's going to be minus my y1, which is 5. And then we also have my x2, which is going to be -8, minus my x1, which is -4. Okay, now don't get confused with your positive and negative values, guys. If you have a calculator, you're more than welcome to use it. If you want to pull one up on your computer, you're more than welcome to. Okay, so again, simple subtraction. You have -5 minus 5. That's going to give you a -10. And that's going to be over. You have a -8 minus a -4, which is also going to leave you with a -4. Okay. Now we want to treat these like we would fractions, guys. Put them into simplest form here. So you guys know each of these can be divided by or simplified or reduced. So you guys should know that 2 goes into 10 and it goes into 4. So when you reduce this should be -5 over -2. But then remember also, it's not just the 2. Both of those are negative. So really, this is going to be a +5 over a +2 because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay? All right. Now, what you guys are going to finish up, you guys are going to finish through 21, just listing the slope, what it is, positive, negative, and the actual slope. And then down here at the bottom, guys, I want y'all to finish 1 through 8, okay? So I'll put your little text box right here so you guys can see. I'll put it right here at the bottom. So you guys are going to finish 1 through 21 on finding the slope, and then you guys will finish, what did I say, 1 through 8 or 1 through 10? And then 1 through 8 using the slope formula. Okay. As always, guys, if y'all have questions, send me an email, send me a chat. I will post the video. It will be on YouTube for you guys. Okay.